And welcome to Relationship Rhetoric. I'm your host, Unapologetically Angela. Welcome to the last Tuesday of 2021. What a beautiful day it has been here in Memphis, Tennessee. Windy, breezy, enough for us to get out and enjoy some sunshine. I hope that you did the same. Um, this interview is going to be special. It's going to be very special. Those of you that know me and are pretty close in my circle know that my father passed about 2.5 years ago at this point, and so functioning just in that realm, going through the mourning process, being there for my mom as the oldest child. My mother transformed right before my eyes. She transformed right before my eyes, and I have had the opportunity of being reintroduced to her and another side of her that um, I must say is refreshing. I'm still adjusting, but to see her smile, to see her happy, to see her reinvent herself has been extremely motivating. So back in October, I thought about asking my mom to be on the show because she's a newlywed. They haven't made it to a year yet. They are newlyweds. And lo and behold, my mama picks up the phone and decides, hey, I would like for us to be on your show. So it's just a blessing to be in this place and to have my mother to want to be on the platform that has been created. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Richard Johnson. Hello.
Hello.
And how are you all today?
Great, wonderful.
We're wonderful. We're wonderful. Y'all. So, one of the things that really gets me about this is my mom and Richard dress alike quite often, and I'm so not used to it. But I knew that they were going to be dressed alike. I didn't know what they were going to have on, but I knew it. I knew it. So, um, thank you. I'm gonna say thank you to Richard for agreeing to participate in this. I know this may be different, but welcome to the family.
Thank you.
um, so just a little background information. Reality, y'all, I've known Richard my entire life. I
Hmm.
think every car that I have owned, I have gotten by way of Richard. So he is no stranger to the family. But I guess the part where I want to start, Mom, is after Daddy passing and what happened or what was the transition to where I guess your heart opened up space for thinking about love and marriage again.
Um, well, it didn't really open up until January 2020. Um, I hadn't even thought about it before then. Um, and so when the connection between Richard and I happened, it surprised me. I mean, I just never thought that I would be where I was. And I remember saying to myself, I think it was on our first date. I said, whoa, look at me, I'm dating. Dating after 45 years. It was just mind blowing. So, I mean, when Alvin passed, I had to, rethink myself and settle into that. And I knew I needed to live. So that's what my focus was just living a full life. And it just went from there.
Okay. All right. So here's the real talk now. So when people, because again, we also grew up in the in the same church, people have the tendency to say, they was watching each other all along, and this, that, and the other. So now I get to ask Richard, what was it? What was it about my mother that caught your attention?
Well, it wasn't basically what caught my attention. It was just that after Al passed, I told her, I said, whatever you need, I'll be here. Just call me, whatever you need, get away or something, just whatever, I'll be there for you. But it wasn't until December 21st, 2019, Vanessa texted me and say, you invited to the Harrington family brunch on Christmas from 10 to 2, whatever time it was, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So I gave myself a day or so before I returned the text, and she said she got kind of, she didn't understand why I didn't text her right back. But I just had to check out a few things. I knew we was having church service on that day, and I had to figure out what time that was. So that was like 9:30. So I texted back and said, I'll be there. So she said, oh, great, okay. And I guess when I got over here, it just really shocked me, and probably shocked you too. As I come in and everything's already ready for me, and people just waiting on me, doing this and doing this. She's introducing me to everybody, because I knew most of everybody, except for a few of the nephews, nieces, and stuff like that, but I basically knew everybody else, and I had a great time that day, and I went on, and what happened was that day before New Year's Eve, my aunt had passed, so I went to Buffalo, and I was accustomed to texting Al, on holidays and stuff like that. So I texted her and said, Happy New Year, and I said, I'm in Buffalo, I had aunt just passed New Year's Eve, so y'all pray for me, you and your family pray for me, She said, text me back, so we praying for you, did you have a safe trip and everything, And I guess just at that moment, I got to something just went through my mind, just started thinking and stuff, I don't know. I got a text for brunch, and then she said she'd be praying for me and have a safe trip back and everything. And a lot of stuff just went through my mind at that time, So when I got back, I guess it took me about 4 or 5 days to get back with her, letting her know that I was back, and I didn't know that, she was expecting me to, check back in, She said, I said, well, I'm back, what took you so long, I thought I was going to hear back from you earlier, I said, well, I just, a lot of things been on my mind, and just trying to get a lot of things resolved and just trying to clear my head about certain things, So we got past that, and I said, well, we got on something about, I said, what are you doing for Sunday? You going out? Did you cook dinner? She said, no, I didn't cook dinner. I said, well, if you're not doing anything, we can go out and, have dinner or something like that. I'm not doing anything, So we did that, and I think we had planned to go to Mahogany's, and we didn't know that on Sundays, that you had to have reservations, So we got there, and I think it's when she called you and asked you some place to go. Both our minds got blank, we couldn't think of nowhere to to go to eat and everything. So Stone River come up, so we went to Stone River, and sit down and everything. Lo and behold, I'm sitting out this man in my own bed, and she just say, are you dating anybody?
Oh my God.
I said to myself, where did this come from? I said, no, I'm not dating anybody, But anyway, it kind of blossomed from there.
Okay, y'all know how I am. So I just had to put that out there. That had to be out there. So because I considered myself being on a date. he said it wasn't a date. I considered it a date. So there you go.
Okay, so I remember this Christmas breakfast very well, because I remember you saying, would you go in there and make sure you got some water? I was thinking to myself, why am I going in here to get it?
Yeah.
So Mama, where did that come from? Where was the notion, let me invite him to breakfast? Was it just?
You believe it or not, Angela, I was here in the house probably 2 weeks before Christmas brunch, preparing like I normally am. And just out of nowhere, it popped in my head, why don't you invite Richard for breakfast? And I said, what? I'm talking to myself like I'm talking to you. And it just said, yeah, go ahead and invite him to breakfast. And within 30 minutes of that thought coming to my head, I text him. I don't know where it came from. I really don't. I didn't have him on my mind. It just popped in my head. But you know what? Richard and I both say that our connection was a God thing because neither one of us expected it. It was just so out of the blue. And it just went from there. That's all. I don't know of any other reason for that to happen other than that being an act of God.
Divine intervention.
Yeah, that's the word.
So, Richard, have you always wanted to be married?
To the right person, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, is it okay if I tell you all's ages?
Sure.
Okay, so Mama, you're 69, right? You'll be 70 in April.
Right.
And Richard, you're 70?
One.
Oh, you turned 71 on your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And our newlyweds.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So you're never too old and you're never too young.
that is so true. That is so true. But Mama, here's the funny part because, again, you've given me bits and pieces of the story. And I remember you finally telling me that you were the aggressor. But in the in so many words, yes. But when Richard proposed, you kind of flipped the script and
Yes, she did.
I'm gonna let him tell that story. I'm gonna let him tell that story.
I guess we were just laying around one day, and I just said, if and when, could we just take this all the way, And what I say that for? I mean, she just blew to the top of the ceiling. I said, well, I won't say it no more. I say, whatever happens, but you'll never hear this from me again, ever again.
No, that was the second time.
Oh, the second time?
Right.
Okay.
The first time, I blew my top. Blew my top.
Let's stop right there. When you say blew your top.
Yeah.
Explain to her.
What he said, I took it as him asking me if and when I am ready to marry him. Okay. And so because that's the way I took it, I said, no, I don't plan to get married again. I said, no, that ain't gonna happen. And we left it at that. He finally just left it at that. That was in May of 2019.
20.
You said hell no.
2020. Okay, 2020. And I want to say it was July when he asked it again. He's kind of pretty much said it the same way. And that's when I just blew my top. I was like, why are you asking me this question? Why do you keep on asking me this question? I've already answered it. And I just went off. I really regret it now, but at the moment, I just couldn't help it. It just came out that way. So that's when he said, okay. I won't ask that question ever again. You ain't got to worry about it. I won't ask that anymore. And then I was okay.
What was that about, though? What was that about?
I think at that time, I really didn't want to get married. I really, really didn't. And again, divine intervention, within a month's time, it just started playing in my head. Okay, what are you afraid of? Why don't you want to get married? What is that? So I started trying to figure out why I was so adamant about not marrying again. And I came to the conclusion that I kind of wanted to live free, you know. I wanted to um, live a life that I had lived when I was like 20 and 30. I'm just being honest. You know, I just didn't want to have any attachments. And that was what was in my brain. But over the month, about a month, maybe 2 months, it just started going around in my brain that, okay, girl, you're not 20, you're not 30, you're not 40, you're not 50, you're not 60, you know. And so you can't bring back something that's past. So I had to work through all of that. And it finally came to me. I mean, I actually prayed. I mean, I prayed on this one. And when I got up off my knees, the answer that God gave me was, He knows what's best for me. I don't. Because what I was wanting was not going to be good for me. I was going to be living in this house by myself, growing old, and probably miserable. And so that stuff started flashing in my head. And I said, "Ooh, that does make sense. Why would I want to live alone, you know, and just casually date? You know, why would I want to do that?" So that's when the light bulb came on and said, "Okay, it wouldn't be so bad to remarry, especially someone like Richard."
Man.
It really did. And so I said, okay, I think I can do this. So I kept on talking to myself. I called one of my counselors, somebody I trust, and can, you know, talk things out. And she helped me to see that I have to be in the will of God. I can't just be doing just whatever I want to do. I'm beyond that. So I finally came to, it was, and I know exactly when, it was around the 1st of September, 2020, when I said, okay, I'm okay. I think I can do this. As a matter of fact, I want to do this. Then it hit me. But remember, he said he wasn't going to ask you no more. I said, whoa, what am I going to do now? And so I said, oh, goodness, what am I going to do? And then it hit me. So you're going to have to ask him. So you know that took a lot. But I asked him.
You said, Richard, would you marry me?
No.
After she got me to Branson.
Yeah, we went to Branson together.
That's when she popped the question.
Yeah. I think I said something like, I got something to ask you. Will you marry me? His eyes like, he just, I guess, I don't know, say how you felt. I don't know how you felt.
It was shocking, you know. It was shocking, but it was definitely something I wanted to hear. It was definitely what I wanted to hear.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been a plum pleasing pleasure, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You really have.
So after she popped off and you was like, I'm never gonna ask again, were you serious? You were never gonna ask again?
Yes, I was, because I knew how she, you know, I knew how she was responding and acting, you know. So I didn't want to blow the moment. I didn't want to blow the situation, you know. I said I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut. You know, whatever's to be, it's gonna be. You know, if she have a change of heart, I'm fine. If she don't, I'm fine. You know.
Okay. So you've repopped the question, Mother,
Yeah.
and Richard says yes.
Mm-hmm.
So what is the conversation like after that? Do we start talking about dates? How do y'all come to the conclusion of where y'all gonna stay? And was there any uncomfortability around that?
Yeah, that took a lot of conversation. Uh, we set a date. I don't know if we set a date when we were in Branson. Do you remember?
Mm-mm.
But anyway, the date that we set was far enough away for us to make plans, to decide all of the details. So, it was so amazing that things just sort of fell in place. After we talked about it, well, where would we stay? Where would we live? And, we talked about moving and just redoing everything. But something again came to my mind and said, why would you want to do that? Why? I have a home. I love my home. I'm comfortable in my home. Why don't I just ask him to just come on and move in with me? And we just go from there. So that's what we did. We talked about it. I wanted to know how he felt about it, because him and Al were close. They were real close. But I guess it was okay. I mean, I don't know. So,
Okay. So, with that being said, with, Richard and Daddy being close and so forth and so on, did you all have that conversation?
yeah, we talked, we talked quite freely and openly about, Alvin and, their relationship. And it didn't feel uncomfortable. I mean, it really didn't. I mean, and that's because I think it was because we didn't have anything to be uncomfortable about. There was no relationship between Richard and I before Alvin. I rarely saw Richard in the 30 years plus that we knew each other. When I left Columbus, I don't know if I saw him maybe 2 or 3 times. Yeah. But so yeah, we could talk and reminisce and talk about times at Columbus and times with Alvin, and he talk and tell me about his conversations with Alvin. And so it was very relaxed. It was just nothing weird about it at all.
Okay. And the one thing that, it helps me is because of the fact that, I mean, Mama, you did what your vow was. You were with Daddy, death to us part.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so many people never think beyond that.
Right.
And
that's where I was. I didn't think beyond that. Because who would have expected him to die? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it was such a shock, and it shouldn't have been, but it was.
Yeah.
And but I'm the type that's real resilient. I just pick myself up and move on.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I did.
So, what would you say? I'm asking Richard. Richard, what would you say is you and my mama's? I mean, y'all haven't been married a year yet, but issue or misunderstanding that you all may tend to have, or you are still trying to adjust to?
Well, so far it hadn't been any misunderstandings, and as for the adjustments and stuff, I mean, it's just I'm kind of laid back, and I sit around here and I observe and also how she do things around the house and stuff like that, So I kind of know my space, I know what to say and when to say it, try to keep things at peace,
So I know my mom is OCD and does a lot of over cleaning. How are you fitting into that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Does she leave a lot of sticky notes around the house still?
Yes. She should do.
Okay.
She do.
Okay.
But I mean, it's just and we kind of got that squared away on the front end, what to expect and what not to expect. Well, I'm like this, what else I'm like this, so we both had to make adjustments, and it's working out fine. It's working out fine. Yeah.
Mama.
Well, Richard is he is so adorable. He is. He really does. I don't think he watches and observes me, but he does. He does it without me really knowing it. Because, he just fell right in line. It was such a smooth transition. It was unbelievable. And I think it really is because we connected so well. It was just like, oh, this is so out of the ordinary for us to be this, it really, to me, it really was. It was just so unusual. And he just let me do and be who I want to be. I like that. When I was asking him about being on the show, I knew he was going to say yeah. Because he says yes to everything I ask him. I don't think I've asked him anything and he said no. So.
You're probably afraid you're going to pop off.
Steve asked all the right questions so far.
I
need to give the right answers. Yes.
I don't pop off very often. I tell you. No, I don't.
Okay. All right. So tell us about Hawaii.
Ooh.
That was your honeymoon, right?
Right.
You got plenty to say about that, though.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wow.
Can't tell it all.
I was in such a state of mind by the time September 27th got here. To any place would have been good. But Hawaii was it was so special, so relaxing, so just perfect. We were able to lay around and didn't have a care in the world, get up when we felt like getting up and going to eat breakfast and sitting there for as long as we felt like it. I would eat so much I'd be full up to here. I'd have to sit there about 30 minutes or so to let my food digest. And just the trip was planned so well. Teresa did a marvelous job. She did a marvelous job. So all we had to do was get up and go where we were supposed to be going that day. And we had a rental car, so we were able to drive. He was able to drive wherever we were going. And the days that we were going to be right there in the circle area, we would catch a trolley and go different places, within a certain perimeter. And it was just so relaxing and so comfortable. I didn't want to leave. Yeah, I didn't want to leave. It was like paradise. It really was. And I think it was a lot of it had to do because we were there 8 days, I believe it was. And they gave us plenty of time to adjust and be able to just relax. And I loved it.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all pick that place together?
Huh?
Did y'all choose that place together? Okay.
Yeah. We went online and we, Richard has been to Hawaii 2 or 3 times. So he said Maui is a good place. That's the place to go when you want just calm and relaxation and so forth. So we went online and looked at some resorts and some hotels and stuff like that. And we came up with this one, which was called La Hinda Resort. And beautiful grounds, very convenient, everything right there, restaurant right there, luau right there. Well, something else was there on the grounds. Anyway, it was nice.
Okay. How was y'all's energy level? You know, people tend to think because when you reach a certain age and you just this, that, and the other. How would you rate your energy level on a scale of 1 to 10, Mama?
Most days I'm about an 8. Most days, which I would love to be 10, but somebody be up under me from 6:15 to 4 o'clock. And so that takes a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that because otherwise, what would I be doing?
That's true.
So she keeps my energy up. She keeps me going. And I needed that. I think I really did need Chloe because and Richard. Because think about it, if I didn't have those 2 things in my life, what would I be doing?
Calling me.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Probably so. So, you know, the days that I don't have a lot of energy, it really makes life difficult. You know, when I don't have a lot of energy, then I can't get anything done. And you know how I am. I gotta get done what I gotta get done. So, so far so good. You know, as far as my energy goes, I had plenty of energy in Hawaii. We were
Yes.
we were up and walking and I mean we just had a ball. We didn't stay in bed all day. No, we didn't stay in bed all day. We got up and we went different places every day.
All right, Richard, how would you say your energy level?
I was at the top.
Okay.
Yes, at the top.
He get up and go to work every day.
I try to stay active all the time, doing something. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I know this might be an uncomfortable question, but it's out here and somebody I'm going to ask.
Uh-oh.
So at this point in life, is, you know, sex still fulfilling?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Well, that's hope for the world. Y'all, it don't stop at 70. It does not. Mother.
No, it doesn't. When you energize, it doesn't.
Okay.
Some people get to that age and don't have any other choice, but I've been blessed. We've been blessed to to have plenty of energy and ourselves the right mind and everything, able to function at a high level.
Okay, high level. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mom, what do you like most about Richard?
Most, I think, is the fact that he is such a gentleman. Oh, he is such a gentleman. I mean, every woman likes to be treated like a woman, taken care of and chair pulled out and doors opened and, asking, how are you? And, kisses and stuff like that. He's good. He's very gentle, very generous. And I told him one time, I said, I can tell that you're a good man because you love your mother and you take care of your mother. He takes very good care of his mother. He has 2 aunts. He's always going to check on them, calling them, whatever they need from him, he's right there. So a man that'll do that for his mother and his aunts will do that for his wife. So
Richard,
he's very lovable.
what do you love most about my mom?
I love most that she's a lady, a real lady. You know, nowadays in marriage situations, you don't see where I guess the woman's cooking or bringing the man the lunch, breakfast, dinner, and all that stuff, doing everything that a woman's supposed to do. You just don't see it these days. Vanessa, she just, I don't have to do anything. What I need, she just automatically brings it to me. She get it, do it. No, you keep your seat. I got this here. And I love that about her. You just don't find that kind of relationship these days between husband and wives. And she's just so special. She's real special. Real special. Okay. I am so glad that God put this thing together.
Come on, put this thing together. Oh Lord. Okay. Okay. So last question. You all have, it is the last week of 2021 and you're on your way into 2022. What can you say that you have learned from each other in this short time that you all have been married?
I think what I've learned, not so much about him as much as about me. I've learned that, life is a ever-changing thing, and you got to be willing to change and move with you. When your season change, you got to change. And I think me being flexible like that and not stuck in my ways, not willing to open myself up to someone else, been the biggest lesson of all for me. Because I think that's why I didn't want to get married. I'm pretty selfish. I really am. And I just wanted me for me. I just didn't want to share my time. I didn't want to have to be bothered. But when you love someone, when I found out that I loved Richard was when I would wake up in the morning and he would be on my mind. And all through the day, he's on my mind. It just wouldn't go away. And that's when I said, I must love this man. I can't think about nothing but him. And so I opened myself up to love again. And I never thought I would. It just was just something not even in my mind. But God saw it different. And he gave me something that I didn't even know I needed. Mm. Yeah, he did. So what can you say?
Richard, what have you learned?
It's a tough question, but I've learned, I guess, how to deal with sacrifices. I guess from the first outset, just things that I saw myself I had to make adjustments to deal with, and the same thing with her, But after we got over certain things, sacrifices, doing this and doing that, and being able to deal with each other, certain things, and getting attached to everybody, to each other, that's it was from there on, but I've learned, just so much in this relationship, just things that I had never experienced before from a true relationship. I've been through this and been through that, but now I find myself in a real relationship, a true relationship, and it's just been a bunch of changes that I had to accept and that she's had to accept, and I just learned a whole lot. It's made me a better person. It's made me a more lovable person, more loving person, and I really care. I really love her, and it's just been a big change. I've learned so much,
Okay.
She have instilled so much in me to make me accept myself as being a better man. I knew what I had, knew what I had to do, but she just instilled so much in me to just make things a whole lot better. So I've learned so much in this relationship.
Okay. So last question. If you could offer advice to, me, divorced people, young people, or people who are just waiting and getting impatient. I mean, I'm not impatient, but impatient people. What advice would you give people wanting to be married, but getting like they're, how people, my clock is ticking and I'm running out of time. What advice would you give?
I think you just have to be prayerful and wait on the Lord, just wait, just don't try to get in a hurry, relationship. You know what you want to do and what you want, who you want to be with at a certain time, but you just have to wait and pray and ask God to lead you and guide you. And look at our age, she had no idea, but that it's going to be like this. But at my age and, and the length of time I've been single, I asked Lord to, in his time, just prayed and asked him, hey, whenever the time is right, I'm ready, and that's what you have to do, Angela. You have to pray and ask God, just wait. Don't get in a hurry, Yeah.
Mama?
I think one of the most important things that a person can do, and it's a hard thing, but it's important to learn to be comfortable where you are. If you're single and you're looking for a husband or wife, be comfortable first being single. Be comfortable knowing who you are just by yourself. You don't have to have someone else to complete you.
Right.
So once you accept who you are, know what you want, what you're looking for in a mate, and then like Richard said, you just got to wait. You got to wait until God sends you that person. Otherwise, you're going to be out there scrambling and searching and being disappointed and, again, watching the clock and this. The clock ain't got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. But I think it's perfect. It's the timing. It's God's timing. And I've learned over the years to know to be content in whatever situation I'm in and know that I'm in this situation or this season in my life because God has put me in this particular season. And when the time is right, just like with us, all of that was God's perfect timing. Because I think if Richard and I had come together 5 years from now, it wouldn't have happened. So waiting on God's plan is always the best way to go. You're not going to know what God's plan is, so don't try to figure it out. But just wait and pray. Because that was one thing that I did do when Alvin passed, and it was real soon after he passed, and I was trying to come to grips with everything. I prayed. I knew that I didn't want to be alone. I knew that I did not want to live the rest of my life alone. But I prayed and asked God to send someone, that I was compatible with, We enjoyed each other. We could go places together, do things together. And I didn't go into now God, he's got to be 6 feet tall. He's got to be dark. He's got to be handsome. He's got to have a certain type of intellect. I didn't do all that now because, I could have, but I didn't. And after I had that prayer, I got up. I didn't pray that prayer anymore. And matter of fact, I forgot about the prayer. But look what God sent. So that was the other reason why I had to say, okay, yes, I will marry you. Because I prayed, I prayed for it. And once it came, I had to accept it. I mean, I'd be a nut not to. So again, prayer, waiting for God's plan to unfold, and knowing yourself. Those are to me, those are key components to living a blessed life, no matter what you're looking for.
Okay. Well, thank you. This was awesome. I really did. I had no idea what to expect. I was like, okay. So this was nice. This was nice. This was a great way to end the year.
All righty then.
It was
So
definitely.
this is the last one?
For this year.
Okay.
We're in my birthday season.
Okay.
So my next interview will not be until January 25th. So you all are ending this season for me.
Well, great.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah, I and all of the coping and dealing with new beginnings or whatever. I mean, your story is amazing. You don't hear this often, and to be a part of it, you know what I'm saying? To actually watch it unfold, for my mother really to be giggly, and I'm like, who is this? I am, I get slightly confused every once in a while, but again, the purpose you served when I was younger, and to be able to be an adult and see you now, it's divine timing. It's what we need to see at this point as adults, and knowing that, trusting and having faith, things are going to work out. Then, and one of my posts, I talked about people thinking that they've already planned their lives. We don't have a clue.
No. So I say, some planning you shouldn't even try to do.
Right.
Just right. You and that's something you got to learn to do. Learn to undo.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Because I stopped trying to even plan a day. I'll say, Lord, whatever this day bring, let me be able to walk through it,
That's right.
Because you never know.
That's right.
Anyway.
That's right.
Well, I'm so glad just to see you in this position. I mean, just watching you grow up as a kid, and then just to see you accomplishing the thing that you're accomplishing in life now, that's just really a blessing.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you.
Really a blessing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Really.
I'm trying to figure out what to call you, Rich. We started calling you Uncle Granddaddy. That didn't work. Then I was like, well, this is my bonus dad. And I was like, oh, that don't work either. So I'll just call you Richard until I figure out something else.
Well, again, grandkids have got Uncle Granddad.
Yes, they do. They do. So, hey,
and
it is all working out for the good. Thank you. I love y'all.
Yeah, love you too.
Have a good night. And if I don't see y'all again, well, I'm coming to get my notebook. Happy New Year.
All right.
Same to you.
All right. See you.
Bye-bye.
I did it. Thank you so much, support system, because I really didn't know how that was going to go. But it was really nice. It was great. Real talk. The reason that this show was created was for my therapy. I started this show shortly after my divorce so that I could listen and talk to people in not just in relationships with single people as well, because I am a single woman at this point, but I was also married for 18 and a half years. And I believe in, relationships. So to talk to people and hear them talk through their situations, talk about their ups and downs, their loves and hates and things of that nature is beautiful. It restores, what a relationship, what a marriage should be. So to end the year, to end this season, listening to my mother and her new love, just giggle and and blush. was priceless for me. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I want to do something a little different on to end this show because it is just what helps keep me afloat. And I hope that you take it with you through the rest of 2021 into 22. I write in my journal on a regular basis, and certain things we get caught up in that we need to learn how to let go. So I just want to share an entry with you. Our minds are too focused on being human beings. We should observe patterns, shapes, colors, textures, and sounds, and the sensations around us. Soon we will come out of our human identity and realize that we're not just people, we are a presence. So when we rise in the morning, we need to realize that we are in existence. We're not just human beings here to walk around and function like robots. You should rise every day to be your higher existence. And if that's your goal, then joy will find its way to you. Love will surround you. Hope will encompass you. You know, we have to learn and get out of this flesh that tends to control us so much and cause us to make some of the strangest decisions that we have to figure out how to get out of. I love you all. Thank you so much for sharing with me. Like I said, we're in Capricorn season. So my next interview will not be until January 25th. I'm going to take a moment to celebrate life, celebrate being 46 years old soon. I'm truly grateful for the wisdom that comes with aging. And I hope to see you in January. Take care of yourselves. Take care of others. If you are celebrating and practicing Kwanzaa, today is collective work and responsibility. That means we work together. We work together. This love thing is not going to work if we don't do it together. I love you guys. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful close to your year. Peace, love, and family.